It's Friday, April 4. In the headlines, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is urging local businesses to look to new markets amid the new U.S. trade tariffs. In business news, DIGI bondholders on pause for refinancing. Regionally, Grenada mitigating against U.S. tariffs impacts. And in sport, Grand Slam track series kicks off in Kingston. This is the Weekend News on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has addressed the recent U.S. decision to impose a 10% tariff on Jamaican exports, which should start to come into effect this week. Speaking at the opening of Expo Jamaica, Dr. Holness outlined the government's proactive stance on the matter, revealing that officials have been in close communication with U.S. trade representatives.
We will use every available diplomatic channel, including working with our CARICOM brothers and sisters and utilizing the Office of Trade Negotiations to seek to preserve the positions our exporters have secured over decades of deepening trade ties with the United States.
The Prime Minister noted that nearly 90% of Jamaican exports to the United States have historically benefited from preferential trade agreements, such as the Caribbean Basin Initiative. He emphasized that the government is urgently seeking clarification on whether the new tariff will override these preferential terms,
which provides non-reciprocal duty-free access for a wide range of products to the U.S. market. Today, nearly 90% of Jamaican exports to the United States enter under these preferential terms. However, the new U.S. tariff regime, rooted in a broader policy of reciprocal trade balancing, has raised serious concerns about the future of these preferential arrangements.
Highlighting the long-standing partnership between Jamaica and the U.S., he describes the tariff as part of a wider shift in trade policies.
We are also conducting a detailed technical assessment in collaboration with relevant ministries and agencies to fully understand the scope of these tariffs and their implications for Jamaica's trade and industrial policy. It is important to emphasize that these developments do not reflect any erosion in the long-standing and strong bilateral relationship between Jamaica and the United States. Rather, it reflects a broader recalibration of U.S. trade policy that is global in scope.
He is reassuring Jamaican manufacturers and exporters that his government remains committed to defending their interests and will continue exploring new opportunities, despite the challenges posed by the tariff.
So to our manufacturers and exporters, we understand the uncertainty this announcement has created. And we are with you every step of the way. You are not only integral to our economic strategy, you are national champions of our resilience and ingenuity.
As global trade dynamics evolve, Dr. Holness is encouraging Jamaican businesses to broaden their horizons. Property owners, take note. Tax Administration Jamaica is reminding you that the 2025-2026 property tax season is now open. As of April 1, property owners can make payments using a variety of convenient options without the need to visit a tax office. Property owners can pay online at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm using a valid credit, debit, or prepaid card. Additionally, Scotiabank and NCB clients can pay online via banking by adding TAJ as a payee. For those on the go, the TAJ's mobile app, currently available for Android devices on the Google Play Store, allows users to conduct several transactions, including making payments, searching property details using valuation and strata numbers, viewing and sharing payment history, locating the nearest tax office, setting personal tax reminders. For in-person transactions, the mobile tax collection unit offers cash, debit, and credit card payment options in select communities. Payments can be made in full, half-yearly, or quarterly. For more details, visit www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357. Works under the massive $45 billion Spark program kicked off in December 2024, aiming to improve roads and infrastructure nationwide. The project covers upgrades to main, local, and community roads, along with sidewalks, drainage, and key intersections. It will also include water system improvements and fiber optic installations to boost broadband connectivity. More in this story from Danita Rodney.
Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan, announced in the House of Representatives on Tuesday that the Spark program is set to generate approximately 13,000 direct jobs.
The initiative will improve our economic efficiency, bolster our tourism appeal, and create employment opportunities. It is projected to generate over 13,000 direct jobs during construction, while delivering an estimated $1.3 billion in savings from vehicle cost reductions, enhanced service accessibility, and strengthened community connectivity.
He says that under Work Order 4, many of the priority roads identified by members of Parliament have been included. Minister Morgan acknowledged concerns that several MPs did not have their priority roads selected in the first 3 phases.
Sadly, because a lot of the roads were scoped already, and we needed to start the project as we had already signed the contract, the government had to start with the roads that we scoped. Many colleagues on this side did not get their priority roads in the beginning. I never got my priority roads, and many other colleagues did not get it. What we decided to do, if you would listen, you would hear, is in Work Order 4 to ensure that as much of the priority roads that were chosen by colleagues from both sides are included in Work Order 4.
During his statement to Parliament, Minister Morgan shares the list of roads set to be repaired under Work Order 4.
Kingston Central, Waganet Crescent, McWhitney Street, if that's the proper pronunciation. Yes, McWhitney. Kingston Western, Upper Church Street, Greenwich Street. St. Andrew Western, Longfellow Avenue, West Bay Farm Road. Those are the 2 that you had asked for, remember. St. Andrew Eastern, Tavern Crescent, Confidence View Lane. St. Andrew East Rural, Middleton Settlement, and 2-3 to Jack Allen and turn off to Freetown. St. Andrew Southern, Opposition Leader, you had raised concerns. Collie Smith Drive, Lincoln Crescent. Those are the 2 that you had asked for. St. Catherine South, Western, Water Lane, Bushy Park. St. Catherine East Central, Power Avenue and Dover Avenue, Daisy Close and Queens Avenue.
The minister says that Work Order 5 will be announced in the coming week with new roads. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Jamaican-based regional telecoms giant DIGI has voluntarily admitted to possible violations of the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act in relation to activities in Haiti. This disclosure has resulted in a pause in planned early refinancing of some of its U.S. $2.6 billion in debt, bondholders have been told. Sources at Our Today and the Irish Times reported that DIGI made the move amid continued uncertainty over a U.S. Department of Justice case looking into whether the company breached foreign bribery laws, according to sources. For investors in the DIGI bond, this would have marked the first refinancing since the restructuring earlier last year of the company and would have represented a major milestone for the company. Jamaican-based First Rock Real Estate, through its wholly owned subsidiary First Rock LATAM, has signed an agreement with global fast food chain KFC for two major commercial developments in Costa Rica. This deal follows on First Rock's initial two KFC restaurants in Costa Rica and the acquisition of a majority stake in the Crown Square commercial complex in Grand Cayman. Like the first two restaurants in Costa Rica, this new project is estimated to be completed in approximately 3 to 4 months. The KFC project is expected to generate economic growth in the region, providing employment opportunities during the construction phase and creating long-term jobs once the restaurant and warehouse are operational. For the trading period ended April 3, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Financial conglomerate NCB Financial Group Limited, with 12,852,020 units traded, representing 34.16% of market sales volume. Real estate and pharmacy firm Fontana Limited, with 8,133,730 units traded, representing 21.62% of market sales volume. Investment house Sagicor Select Funds Limited Financial, with 6,471,025 units traded, representing 17.20% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On April 3, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $48.43 million purchased and US $56.86 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders also earned $1.82 per dollar, selling the US at $158.61 and buying the US at $156.79. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.17 per transaction, with selling at $112.77 and buying at $111.60. The British pound yielded Forex traders $5.19 in profit, with selling at $205.85 and buying at $200.66. For our credit report tip of the day, the right financial team at your bank can make a significant difference in your journey to financial stability. A strong financial team at your bank can provide guidance, access to resources, and personalized support to help you rebuild your credit and secure funding for future investments. For example, you can leverage business credit for personal benefits. If you own a business, responsibly managing a business credit line can improve both your personal and business credit scores. Also, regularly updating your banker on your progress can position you for future financial opportunities when your credit improves. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, President Trump's new 10% tariff on all countries could have major implications for Grenada's agriculture sector. With the United States being a key importer of Grenadian products like soursop, the tariff could reduce demand and impact exports. However, officials say this change could also open doors to alternative markets. GBN spoke with Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan on how the country is preparing to cushion the blow, including efforts to boost local food production and support poultry farmers.
President Trump's 10% tariff on all countries could have both positive and negative effects on Grenada's agriculture sector. The U.S. is one of Grenada's largest importers of soursop, and with the tariff introduced, it could mean a reduction in demand for those products, potentially hurting Grenada's exports. However, on the positive, Grenada could explore alternative markets to mitigate this impact. GBN was in conversation with Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan on the possible impacts on the agriculture sector and how they are preparing to cushion the blow. Bagwan indicated that they are putting a number of measures in place, one of those being a forum that will take place in the coming week involving the private sector. Grenada being a large importer of poultry, the PS explained their plans.
Focusing on the likely impact of the tariff that would be imposed by the U.S. government and how that would affect in terms of the import. As Prime Minister would have indicated, 90% of everything we import, including food. And as such, we have been mandated to ramp up and refocus our budget that have just been approved towards the issue of food security and production. So, in fact, we are looking at areas that we could collaborate with the private sector on. Certainly the area of poultry is a key area. We already have a policy. We have a consultant right now on ground that would be submitting a report within 2 weeks' time so that we could ramp up the support in terms of providing chickens and feed and or whatever additional importance support so that the farmers themselves could ramp up the production of poultry. We are also working with the large, we have two large poultry producers, and they have the capacity of 75,000 and 50,000 each. So again, we're looking at how we could support them in terms of feed, in terms of input of hatching eggs and other sort of inputs that they too also could ramp up production as it relates to poultry.
As it relates to crop production, the PS said that they will take a little longer to roll out. The forum, he said, will help his ministry to better understand what additional support is needed.
We see as an immediate focus the issue of vegetable production. So we would have received some seedlings, quite a large quantity of seedlings from AICA. We have asked our propagation units, including CADI, to assist us. So some farmers we would give seeds, others we would actually propagate the plants and give them the plants so that they could plant. So that is as an immediate step, and we want persons to take this thing seriously because we're not sure how these policies would impact us, but we have to be prepared and put mitigation measures in place.
History has been made in the Commonwealth. Shirley Botchway is now the first African woman to lead the 56-nation group. In her first address to the Commonwealth Caribbean, she outlined her vision and commitment to amplifying the region's voice on the global stage. With Antigua and Barbuda set to host next year's Commonwealth Summit, her message comes at a crucial time.
My dear friends, citizens of the Commonwealth of Nations, as I assume the office of Secretary General of our Commonwealth today, I wanted to begin the day by speaking with you as a fellow citizen. I do so with deep humility, but also inspired by the possibilities of what we can do to transform the lives of all who live in the Commonwealth. The world we woke up to today is unlike any we have seen in the lifetimes of many of our 2.7 billion people. The consequences of lower economic growth, increased defense expenditures, and a frayed multilateralism will affect our pockets directly, increase unemployment and poverty, reduce social protection, and weaken our resilience to shocks whether climate or economic. The value of our Commonwealth stands in bold relief in a time like this. Our ambitions cannot be limited by old prescriptions. As an organization based on common values, we can work for our common well-being as a multilateralism of the willing. And we must begin by standing with those member states that are daily targets of attack. We must seize the moment to realize the transformation our societies seek. Trade and investment hold the key to our economic transformation. By seeing the Commonwealth market as a key to expanding industrialization, trade and services for all our countries, industrialized or developing, big or small, we can unlock extraordinary opportunities, driving prosperity, creating jobs, and lifting up communities. I am determined that we will continue to empower our women and young people with the tools, knowledge, and opportunities they need to succeed.
With Guyana's economy rapidly expanding, the demand for skilled labor is higher than ever. To bridge this gap, the government is establishing sector skills councils, modeled after Jamaica's successful initiative to ensure vocational training aligns with industry needs, creating a smoother transition from education to employment.
The role of technical and vocational education is now more important than ever because of the great demand for skilled labor to support Guyana's rapidly developing economy. And so a national TVET policy was established. In that policy, there are various objectives and strategic priorities, including the establishment of sector skills councils. So what is the skills councils all about? Jamaica was the first Caribbean country to establish a sector skills council. That body successfully supported quality and relevant skills development across various sectors. Now Guyana hopes to adopt a similar model. This venture will guarantee the smooth transition of TVET graduates from training into proper jobs or self-employment roles. Right now, the Council for TVET organizes group leads to develop and validate occupational standards on a request basis, aimed at meeting sector-specific skills demand. The government wants to make this service more efficient and responsible. So the Sector Skills Councils, which comprises of private sector entities, will serve as the liaison between training providers and employers, ensuring that the skills imparted are both relevant and aligned with industry requirements. The core function of a Sector Skills Council is to determine the specific skills needed within an industry and then work in collaboration with training providers to tailor training programs accordingly. Given that private sector employers face both domestic and international competitive pressures, along with regulatory challenges, they are well positioned to provide an up-to-date account of workforce skill requirements. Once established, the Sector Skills Council in Guyana should perform a range of functions in the realm of skills training, education, and workforce development. It is also expected to serve as a negotiating forum for employers and trade unions, and finally, lead the establishment of a skills development fund or training levy in Guyana. For Newsroom, Isanella.
In sports, we lead off with athletics. Grand Slam track begins today, Friday, April 4, with a stellar lineup at the National Stadium in Kingston. Our news team attended the pre-event press conference at the AC Hotel on Thursday.
There's been a lot of talk about why Grand Slam track, what about this, and where does it fit, and television broadcast deals. By the way, we are broadcast in 189 countries, right? So we are elevating this sport, which is exactly what we wanted to do. But there's been enough talk about that. Now it's time for racing. So, the story here is, long sprints, who's gonna win? Short hurdles, who's gonna win? Long distance, who's gonna win? Short distance, who's gonna win? This is about who's gonna win. We are here, everybody's here. We got the biggest prize money in the sport. We got 48 of the top athletes in the world signed to our league. We got another 48 challengers. They are some of the fastest people on the planet. So it's about the racing. That's what we need to be talking about.
Give the opportunity to show kind of the range of the athletes. You know, you get to see us in the hurdles, but just having this dual side of it, of getting the fun opportunity to sprint, is also just really exciting, I think. It gets to show the whole athlete.
A total of $12.5 million US, just under 2 billion Jamaican in prize money is up for grabs.
$100,000 we've never gotten, unless you were Dalilia and you broke the world record. That's the only time. That's the only time we got $100,000 in the hurdles or in any event at once. So for it to be 4 slams, $100,000 to win, that is truly amazing. And I'm looking forward just to competing and see where I get from there.
400 meters hurdles champion Dalia Muhammad revealed she will be retiring soon.
It's going to be it for me this year. I'm definitely going to, I think this will be it. I haven't really made an announcement or publicly known, but yeah, I'm thinking one and done.
Wow, so just to be absolutely clear, this could very plausibly be your last ever season as a professional track athlete?
Yes.
Grand Slam Track Kingston takes place from April 4 to April 6, 2025. Officials of the Athletics Association of Barbados are stressing that the focus of this year's Carifta Games will be on developing the island's next track and field stars. On Wednesday night, the AAB selected a record 52-member team to compete for the Easter weekend in Trinidad and Tobago. CBC's Anmar Goodrich Boyce has more.
2017 Carifta gold medalist Finn Armstrong is back and adds to a quality Barbados team which also includes 2023 Carifta champion Ashlyn Simmons. These two distance runners will be the most experienced campaigners as the squad hunts for glory at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad over the Easter weekend. Last year's bronze medalist Anaya Nurse and fastest schoolboy Jaden Green headlined the list of the island's top junior sprinters. And while President of the Athletics Association of Barbados, Noah Lynch, said the target is 40 medals, head coach Brian Holder maintained that this mission is not about the medal count, but athletes giving their all and renewing a sense of pride to the country.
This team, you know, we're going to Trinidad, as I said earlier, really to give the best that we have. I'm not ever going to talk about medals. We're going to talk about giving the best. I believe that when we go to Trinidad and we compete, the idea is that we leave it all on the track or in the field. Don't come back saying, I could have done more or I should have. No, do it then. Because that is going to redound to the amount of personal best we get, the amount of medals we get, the amount of satisfaction and pride as a nation that we have.
During a media conference to announce the team on Wednesday, Lynch, who won Carifta gold at the 1974 Games in the under-20 boys 100-meter event, had a message for the competitors.
Remember, you're representing your country, representing yourself, your school, your club, your family, and you're representing your country. Get that at the front of your mind and your brain. You are ambassadors for Barbados. Never lose sight of it and don't let the ball drop. We have a management team. We have, obviously, coaches. These people have eyes and ears, but they can't be there with you all the time. Just remember, you're representing a number of different sets of people that you should not let down.
Team Barbados will compete in all 9 relays, and they leave the island for Trinidad in 2 groups on April 16th and 17th, and return on April 22nd. Anmar Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
And that's it for the weekend news. Pleasant viewing.